Yo, what up? I'm driving right now like I always am. And I thought I'd just make a video while I'm driving. If the highway and the sound of my car is too much and you can't really hear me clearly, let me know and I'll never do a video like this again. But if it's not, I might make more videos like this. So anyways, today I wanted to talk about fluency, kind of what fluency is, what my definition of it is, and what it might mean for you. And I'm gonna summarize this video up front just in case you really don't want to watch the whole thing or you kind of want to know what you're getting into. My big point is that native speakers don't really care about their fluency. Not once have I ever thought about my fluency in English, and you probably haven't either. If you're a native English speaker and you're watching this, you've probably never asked yourself, am I fluent in English? All you care about is that you can talk to people, assuming that you have the ability to talk. You can talk to people, you can understand people, and that's all that matters. You can communicate, which is ultimately the goal of language, right? We want to be able to communicate with other people. And, you know, even if I'm at work and I'm like, huh, 5 times in a row, I don't think, oh man, I have trouble understanding this person. Maybe I'm not that good at English. That could happen 5 times in a day, actually. Sometimes I'm on the phone, I'm just like, I don't know what this person is saying. Like, I just don't know what they're saying. I don't think I'm not fluent in English. In fact, by some standard, someone could probably say that I'm not fluent in English, and I would not care, bro, because I can have conversations, I can make videos like this. I've talked to multiple people on the phone, I've talked to random people in different places, and I've had a lot of cool conversations. So when I started learning a second language, that's all I thought about. I never really thought like, oh, I want to be fluent, because I didn't really know what that was. I still kind of don't. But I did know that I want to be able to talk to people. And honestly, we're just really hard on ourselves about fluency and our level at other languages. If you talk to someone else, a native speaker in the language that you're learning, you might be surprised when you hear them say that, hey, you speak 2 languages, you're fluent in 2 languages. They might consider you fluent even though you consider yourself a beginner, because like to them, they're like, bro, you can walk around here, you can talk to people, like you could get dropped off in another country, you could survive, like that's good enough. Like, you're fluent in the language, you can talk to anybody, even if it is with some trouble. So, you know, fluency is up to you. And like I said, I wouldn't base my language learning goals on fluency if I were you. Like, the ultimate goal is communication. There's so many things about language and writing, speaking and writing, that are just crazy. There's a lot of people that aren't even intelligent enough to use their own grammatical systems, but they still know how to talk. You will still understand everything they say for the most part. You might just think, oh, that's wrong in your head. And like, there's whole regions where people do the quote unquote wrong thing in languages. And to me, it's more important that you understand what they're saying than it is to be correct. If you speak like with all the grammar in the world, but when someone else isn't speaking with good grammar, you can't understand them, I'm like, I don't know if I would say that you really have a good grasp of the language. If everyone's doing this and you're doing the right thing, I don't think I would say that you're super fluent, if you get what I'm saying. So anyways, throughout this video, I'm gonna post some screenshots. I asked Twitter what they thought fluency was if they spoke more than one language, and you know, the answers were a big mess, like I wanted it to be. I expected it to be like that, and I wanted it to be like that so that I could show y'all that everyone has their own definition, and it never really makes sense. It's kind of just like whatever you want it to be. So, you know, I had some people say if they had to access the order of the sentence, that they wouldn't consider themselves fluent. They had to think about which order the words went in. And I get that 100%. To me, that doesn't really matter. I don't think I would ever think about that. I do think about that in English sometimes, but it's not if someone was talking perfectly fine and they told me like, yeah, I still have to think about the order of the words in English, I wouldn't be like, oh, you're not fluent then. Like, if you can't just like flow it out. Some people are just thinkers, bro. Like, I don't like talking without thinking about what I'm gonna say. And so sometimes someone will ask me a relatively simple question and I'm like, give me a second. I want to make sure I answer this the way I want to answer it and don't say random words and try to come back and correct those words. So that was one thing. Other people were talking about the flow of words over anything else, and I think that's important too. You could make a lot of grammatical mistakes, but you could talk really smoothly and quickly and sound normal. Like I said, lots of people make grammatical mistakes all the time. I've probably made some in this video, and I don't care. I don't care at all. So what else? Someone said basically along the lines of what I was saying earlier, the ability to communicate with anyone about anything. And to me, that is my biggest one. In English, there's a lot of subjects that I don't know, right? I don't know anything about cars. You probably heard me say that on my channel like 15 times now. But if I ask you about cars, if I ask you to tell me how an engine works, how does the car move, how do the tires stop the car, once you give me the explanation, I'll say, oh, okay, I didn't know that, thank you. If you don't know something and it can't be explained to you because you don't have the vocab, then I would say you're probably not at a very high level. I meet people all the time that have weird jobs, and I may have never heard their job before, and I'm like, what's that? Like, what's your job description? And they'll tell me like, oh yeah, like I put the blah 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 in a glass maker, and then blah blah, and that puts the ceramic on this, and that's how you get the towel on your cabinet. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. Now, if you were explaining that to me and I'm like, what's towel? What's ceramic? What's a cabinet? What's this? I'm probably not fluent, right? So that's what you can ask yourself. Not, do you know every conversation or do you know every subject? But if someone were to explain the subject in depth after you asked it, would you then understand it? Because like I said, if I keep explaining something to you and you're like, I'm not sure I understand, then you probably just don't have, the vocabulary of a fifth grader. Because most kids, that's even an expression. Explain it to me like I'm 5. Like most kids, you can break stuff down to them, like no matter what it is. Like, hey, my job is to put this in a rocket ship and go into space. If I say that and you still don't know what I'm talking about, bro, you don't have it, not yet.
So we don't have the capacity.
And that's okay. Study some more. What else? Oh, we were talking about accents. Somebody said, talking clear. And I said, okay, well, like, I'm from America, I'm from Texas. If somebody's from Liverpool and I can't understand them, does that mean one of us is not fluent? If you don't know where Liverpool is, if you don't know what a Scouser is, they're gonna talk like this. They're gonna talk like something a beetje groot. And if you're from Liverpool, don't get mad at me. I'm just trying to give an example. Okay, I know that wasn't good. But anyways, they're really hard to understand, bro. And so if I can't understand them, should I feel bad now? Should I say, oh man, maybe I don't know English like I thought I did? No, it's just a different accent. People have different accents and dialects, and that's gonna happen to you in the second language you learn too. You're gonna say, oh, I feel pretty confident, and then you're gonna talk to someone and you're gonna be like, what are they saying, bro? Like, I'm struggling. That doesn't mean that you're not fluent. You guys just have very different accents. Now, if they start trying to talk as clearly as possible and you still don't understand them, like I said, you probably have a problem. But yeah, ultimately, to sum this video up, I don't think your language learning journey should be about getting to fluency. I think you should want to communicate yourself as effectively as possible. You should want to be able to talk to people. I mean, your goal is your goal, so I can't tell you what your goal should be. But if you are basing it on fluency, I would advise you to change the language of your goal a little bit so that you're not like constantly wondering if you're there and feeling hopeless. Because like I said, like no matter how good you get, there's always going to be a conversation that you arrive to where you're struggling to understand the person, struggling to express yourself, and just struggling. Sometimes you just have bad days, and I wouldn't let that interrupt anything. So make your goals about connections and communication. You know what I mean? That's ultimately the point of language. We want to be able to talk to more people and have more experiences. And if you're doing that, I think you're on a good path. And that's all that matters. So anyways, I'm getting close to my destination. Almost at 1,000 subscribers, my boy. Like I said, I'm kind of upset about that because I'm gonna have to pay y'all some money. But I appreciate y'all, man. Keep sharing the videos, keep liking them up if you like them. You know how I never say that at the beginning of the videos. I hate when people be like my video right now. I'm like, bro, I don't even know if I like your video, bro. I'm not liking it until I watch the video. Come on, man. Anyways, thanks for watching. Y'all have a good day. Peace.